audience of achievers. I'm going to be talking to you about this vexed subject of Jammu and Kashmir. And the simple fact is, it's been in the news, you've heard what the chief said, and I think he was damn right in what he said. And I will try and explain to you what precisely is happening there. I was born in Jammu, so I have a very strong parental lineage with this state of Jammu and Kashmir. Look at this map. A picture is worth 1,000 words. We have a tremendous guilt complex in our country when it comes to talking of Jammu and Kashmir. A lot of us say, oh, but we should have held the plebiscite. In 1948, the United Nations asked us to hold a plebiscite. So why haven't we held a plebiscite? And if the people of Jammu and Kashmir want to go, why don't we let them go? Incorrect. You just forgot two things. When the UN resolution said that India should vacate Jammu and Kashmir, it also, that India should hold a plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir, it also first asked Pakistan to vacate Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Has it done so till date? It has no locus standi to ask you to hold a plebiscite until only if it vacates the occupied portion of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which you can see on the other side, right? Now, take a look, a little deeper ethnographic look at this problem. On the right is the district of Leh Ladakh in pink. The people are Buddhists. Next at that green, the district of Kargil. The people are Shias. At the districts on the south, Kathua, Jammu, Udhampur, parts of Doda, parts of Rajouri and Poonch, this is inhabited by Hindus. So the entire crux of the problem is then confined to these 5 districts of the valley, which constitute 7% of the total land area of Jammu and Kashmir. And this 7% arrogates to itself the right to drag the rest of the state, the rest of the 93% of Jammu and Kashmir into Pakistan. What exactly is the problem in this 7% of the land? This was at one time one of the most, tolerant, liberal section of the Muslim population anywhere in South Asia. It had a liberal Sufi syncretic culture. The Sufi saints were called Yunda Roshes, rishis. And when in 1947 partition was taking place, there was a cauldron. This place was a haven of peace. Unfortunately, that is history. Pakistan tried 4 times to capture this state of Jammu and Kashmir by the force of arms. Each time, it got kicked in its teeth. And I'd like to use military language right throughout, right? It got kicked in its teeth. Then it started a proxy war, when it knew an asymmetric war. But very cleverly, Pakistan now used this defeat, leveraged this defeat to, start a new narrative on Jammu and Kashmir, a narrative of victimhood. Oh, like the Palestinians, we are suffering. Intifada. We are a population that is being imposed upon. And I think that is very, very unfortunate, because what you are leveraging upon is the communal hatred and the bias that you have generated by 30 years of a sustained program of radicalization. Now, with that essential preamble, I'd like to tell you about my personal involvement in a portion of Jammu and Kashmir called Kishtwar. This is the most rugged portion of Kishtwar, and I was given this assignment in the year of the Lord 2000, September 2000. I was posted as a brigade commander to take over a sector in Kishtwar. My headquarters was in Doda. My force commander, General Mohinder Singh, was in charge. So the moment I met him, his first words to me are, GD, you got your work cut out. Okay? Your sector is letting grass grow under its feet. You might get a similar lambasting when you go and join your corporate sectors from your boss, who will spell out the job and the task profile for you. Came out into the sunshine from the office. I took a deep breath, and then I found my staff officer had lined up my jeep. And in those days, you needed to go with a lot of protection. There was my Jeep. There was the Jeep in front with the light machine gun. There was a jammer vehicle behind. There was a signal vehicle behind. And then there was another Jeep with a machine gun. But I noticed that the Jeep, my Jeep, wasn't carrying a star plate. You know, brigadier's rank. And that means I become a one-star general. So I was quite shocked to see that there was no star on this thing. So I asked that officer, why? He said, sir, the orders here are that there have been plenty of commanders who have been targeted, and so therefore the orders are that we don't put on the star plate and the flag, sir. I'm sorry, sir, but those are the orders. So I thought a minute to myself. My boss had just told me, your sector isn't moving. They aren't operating. There's something the problem. You go find out what the problem is. So I said, to get people moving, if I sneak into my command, it's not a very emphatic statement that I'm making to start my, stint in Kishtwar. I said, please put the damn flag on, put the star plate on. Anything else that I'm authorized? The boy stood at attention, and very cheeky youngster, he said, yes, sir. I said, what? He said, in your own area, sir, you are authorized the siren. I said, the moment I get to my area, please blow the siren. I immediately regretted what I had said. But because the boy had been cheeky, I had, to say that. But then, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 2.5 years that I spent there, every day that I went out on those curved, twisting roads with the mountains, cliffs of 1,000 feet to this side and 1,000 feet down to the river Chenab, right? And at every turn of the road, there could be an ID, there could be an ambush, there could be a machine gun going into your face. And I used to go with that siren on, so that from a long distance, wah, wah, that wail would alert people for miles. To my great good fortune, the terrorists thought, look, this guy can't be mad doing this. There must be some, so the rumor spread that he has a new kind of a jammer. The moment, you put an ID, it pre-actuates it. And therefore, no ID was blown in my face. Though I came back with a bit of blood pressure, because every time you keep wincing your eyes at every blind turn, that it's just going to blow up in your faces. You may not show it on your face, but your BP does go up. So, now this is the dramatis personae in that area. Take a look at the terrain. Take a look at the dense forests. 1,000 terrorists could hide in these forests, and you would keep searching for years, and you would not be able to get them unless you had precise intelligence, pinpoint intelligence. And who gives you this intelligence? It has to come from the people. So to that extent, the core, the criticality of our operations in Jammu and Kashmir, the center of gravity, as we like to call it in the army. Now, I was left with the task that I have to now get operations going away. So then I ultimately decided that the next encounter that takes place, let me know. I will be there myself. I'd like to see things for myself. So they said, sir, your protection. I said, look, I got 35 guys to protect me. Don't worry about me, but I'd like to be there. So I started putting pressure, and ultimately these people had no option but to deliver. And sure enough, within about a month, we got our first major encounter. We killed 3 terrorists over there. And then, of course, the people didn't look back. Now, I took an analysis of what was happening. I found the general tendency was to try and show that, oh, I've eliminated so many terrorists. A quantitative game, a numbers game. I said, we will not waste time eliminating the foot soldier, because that doesn't help. You get 1 or 2 of them, they'll get 4 or 5 more from the schools of this thing. 60% of the people fighting in my area were Pakistanis and Pathans. I said, go for the top terrorist leadership. So we created these leader cards. This, incidentally, is Sangar Pathan. He's not a Kashmiri. Please understand this. There are no Pathans in Kashmir. He is a Pathan who had come from Afghanistan. He had been sent in by the ISI. So he's got his, call sign, Sky Fighter, etc., etc. So we started making these cards, and I would go to the post and I would say, I would like you to eliminate this divisional commander, district commander, or the tehsil commander. You will focus on them. You let me know in how much time will you get this fellow. Management by objectives. So we started pushing, and the boys started giving us good results. Within a matter of a month plus, we had started getting results. And by 6 months, we had eliminated 37 top. So what they did was, they started hitting the minority villages. We used to have village defense committees, retired soldiers whom we had armed. But in the summer, they take their cattle and they go up to the higher pastures. And they come back. So they started going to these pastures and started shooting them. In one village, they killed 5, village of Pati Mahal. Right? Next village, they struck the next week, and that is the village of Tagud. They killed 8 of the minorities. Slaughter kind of a thing. And finally, they hit a village called Gulabgarh, where they killed 30. I started getting calls after call. What the hell are you doing? What is wrong with your area? You are not in control, etc., etc. So then what I did was, I took 2 companies and I went to that particular village of Kishtwar, Gulabgarh. I camped there. And then, I called all the local village headmen. And I asked them simply, just tell me who did it. They said, sir, we didn't do it. I said, I'm aware that you didn't do it. I want to know who did it. So then they confabulated amongst themselves. They said the army won't go till such time as he gets his answers. So then he said, sir, it was Abu Mustafa, Abu Ghulam, Abu Umair. These are of the Lashkar-e-Toiba. They are Pakistanis, and these were the 2 local guides. So I said, fine, just convey a message from my side to these terrorists. And the message is that, look, Brigadier BAKSHI was here. I was a brigadier then. And he's saying, Abu Mustafa, Abu Ghulam, Abu Umair, तुमको जहां भागना है, तुम भाग लो. चाहे मुझे 1 हफ्ता लगे, चाहे 1 महीना लगे, चाहे 1 साल, मैं आपको जहन्नम के किसी भी कोने से ढूंढ निकालूंगा और मैं बहुत बुरी तरह से मारूंगा. क्योंकि आपने अल्लाह ताला की हुक्म मंजूरी की है. In the Quran, there is a verse which says, in a jihad, spare the lives of the women, the children, the old, and the infirm. So I gave this threat and I came away, right? And within about a week, my Gujar informant, a boy who used to risk his life to get me information, he came. He says, "Sahab, haath mein khujli ho raha hai." That means he wants money. So I said, what information? So he said, sir, these people, they are so scared now that because you have given this threat, that they are not staying in any village for more than an hour. So, and if anybody stares at them, they start thrashing him. So the information is flowing in very fast. I said, cut the comedy. Where are they now? Where are they now? He says, sir, Tata forest, middle of the forest, there's a clearing, there's a hut, they are there right now. So we quickly made him wear a burqa. We put him in the jeep and we sent him to my unit. I told the CO, this boy knows where those 3 are. Go and get them. So by that evening, he had surrounded that place. But there was a clearing, there was no cover. The moment he tried to go, towards that hut, they got a number of shots. And in this, he lost about 3 boys. 1 got shot through the head and he was still alive and writhing. So this commanding officer was worried. He said, sir, can I kindly take my boys away? Because these 3 boys will die, otherwise I've lost quite a few boys already. And that was held against you if you had too many casualties. So I told him, I said, sir, the chopper also can't come because it's now after dusk. So I told him, don't worry, I'm coming. I'll take your boys down, don't leave the cordon. Because by that time, we had started getting radio intercepts. Abu Mustafa, Abu Ghulam, Abu Umair, फौज के घेरे में हैं. फौज उनके पीछे पड़ी है, कुछ करो, निकालने की मदद करो. So we knew who those guys inside were. Those were those 3 criminals, right? We got those wounded boys out. Fortunately, they all survived. We were able to evacuate them by land. The next day, of course, we attacked again. We took some more casualties. Then ultimately, we said, use that thermobaric weapon. We used that, and that they were in a pine log wood hut, and the pine has resin. So the whole thing got burnt, 300-400 feet high that this thing went. At the end of it, even their bodies were charred. They're charred absolutely to ash, more or less. The AK-47s had burnt and the barrels had bent into a U. I mean, that's how hot it was. So we took photographs. We went back to that same village. We called all the sarpanches of the 15-20 villages around and we said, look, The Lord has said in the Holy Quran that don't target women, children, old and infirm. These people did that, and please see the consequences. It is the Lord's punishment. There was a stunned silence, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, that was September 2001. Since then, there has been no targeted killing of minorities in the district of Kishtwar. All the civilians who had fled from there to Himachal Pradesh came back. So what are we? When we started getting information, you see, nobody will stand his woman being misbehaved with, right? And therefore, information started coming. We went to the villages, especially the Gujars. You can see me there in that turban with the village elders. They were fed up of what these Pakistanis and Afghans were doing to their women, right? So they requested help. Then we gave weapons to the girls to defend themselves, because the men go up to the pastures. The girls are left alone. And the girls said, we will defend ourselves. We will defend our honor against these people. And you see these girls with the weapons. These are the women village defense committees. And because of this, information started flowing. We set a record number of terrorists killed in that year in the district of Kishtwar. A record number of terrorists were eliminated, and by the time I had left that place, that was as peaceful as a schools. One of the things that they were doing is burning the schools down so that children would be forced to go into the madrasas. Now we started rebuilding these schools, and we started doing them in the playway methodology so that the children would come even on Sundays and holidays. If we have lost this generation, we wanted to aim at generation next, give them a secular, liberal, humanist education so that we would get them back to our side, right? And then we held competitions of singing Sare Jahan Se Acha. These are the girls of Jammu and Kashmir singing Sare Jahan Se Acha, Hindustan Hamara. This, what I took that place over 2.5 years back, at the end of it, this is what was there. This is the difference that you can make if you use your diagnostic skills to analyze what exactly is the problem and get on with this. I'd like to pay a tribute to one of my boys, Nayak Ranbir Singh Tomar, who got the Ashok Chakra, the highest award for gallantry in the land. Without boys like him, we would not have been able to do a thing. I'd like you all to kindly join me in paying him that tribute. Thank you.